The mall opened for business in December 1974. It will only be another 3 years that the residential Peace Mansion will finish the project by 1977. It was said to dwarf the neighboring cafe building, one of Singapore's first high-rise buildings, which also include Golden Mile, Beauty World, Lucky Plaza, Plaza Singapura, and many more. However, its glamour would tarnish and soon will crumble. Because, you see, there is just one problem. But before I get into that, I will explain the building's layout to get a better understanding. In the beginning, it had a more respectable and less undue reputation. It was well known as the center for private schools and printing shops. Many students and businesses were queued to print all sorts of materials, as copyright was basically a small matter. The booming of computers like your Macintosh Plus, which exploded in the 80s, saw computer and management schools such as Informatics and BMC had their first branch in Peace Center. Firstly, it consists of 232 commercial units, 86 apartments, and a 162-lot car park. This works out to a total of 319 strata units in a 10-story front podium block and a rear 32-story tower. The 76,617 square foot site is zoned for commercial use under urban redevelopment. By 1992, however, the shopping mall had lost its shine. The pioneer shopping mall couldn't keep up with competition from newer malls, such as Raffles City and Marina Square. Its undoing, according to a 1993 Business Times article, was that it was a strata title shopping mall center with no single owner having majority ownership. Strata title basically means a portion of something you own. Like, let's say a condo, except that instead of one person owning the property, it's the tenants that own it. This meant that the tenant mix was left up to market forces. Shopping centers with a single tenant enjoying majority ownership. And the moment you'll be waiting for, what really happened to Peace Center? Well, it's a long stretch, but I'll make it short and informative. The shopping mall did had a great start, but there was one problem. What does an en bloc mean? En bloc means a block or lump, or as a whole. The sale of property where the vast majority of residents have agreed to sell their homes at the same time to the same buyer. And since I said the Peace Center was owned by the shop owners who decided to sell their homes, but for what exact reason? Well, the answer is not surprising, as Singapore is considered a small country with a land area of 734 km square, or similar in size with Kiribati, a Polynesian island located some 7,707 kilometers apart. And this is not the only time it has happened. Like last year, another infamous mall, Golden Mile, where it's also a strata title mall, would lose its ground. Another example, Dover Forest, with the east part of it taken down for both housing and parks to be placed in the future. However, I am not sure if the west part will soon be susceptible to this horrible fate. The era of old shopping malls may be vanishing, but the everlasting changes it had on the people will stay on for generations to come, and that its impact will be written down in history.